This time on Zoo Babies, we take another tour of the world's zoos and wildlife parks to greet some gorgeous newborn animals. First up, let's go to Japan and welcome this rare set of white tiger triplets. Only 1 month old, they don't have names yet. At this age, they can barely walk straight and look more like cuddly kittens than the ferocious tigers they will grow to become. But that hasn't stopped the 2 females and 1 male cub from grabbing the limelight and the hearts of everyone that comes to sit with them during the 2 brief photo sessions a day. White tigers are rare and practically extinct in the wild. But this is the 2nd litter for the resident adult white tiger couple at this zoo, bringing the park's total number of white tiger cubs to 7. Even though it's a common belief that most white tigers are not albino, the only exception is when the tigers are born without their dark stripes. Then they are called snow white tigers. This is a 1-year-old endangered Eurasian black vulture, which was found in a critical condition in Thailand. The bird was handed to Kate Sart University in Bangkok so that the vets could look after it. The carers believe that the male bird came from an East Asian country on a migration route and fell out of the sky due to exhaustion and lack of food. Black vultures are the largest birds of prey in the world and are one of the world's heaviest flying birds. They breed in high mountains and forests and nest in trees or on cliff edges. The vets know a lot about black vultures and how to care for them. The bird is classified as extinction endangered, according to the list by Bird Conservation International, with a population of only 20,000 worldwide, which are being protected in India and Korea. So we're trying to send it back to its natural habitat. To get the bird flying again, the vets have organised a twice-weekly outdoor flying exercise in a wide field. This rare male vulture is fed 1 kilogram of pork's leg or beef flesh once a day in its isolated room to ensure it will not be disturbed. If everything goes to plan, the vets will soon be able to take the bird back to its natural habitat in Mongolia, so it can do what it loves to do best, fly around high up in the sky searching for prey. But for now, it must eat and drink to get its strength back. High up in this apartment building in downtown Manhattan in New York lies America's largest private collection of turtles. The address of this 9th floor loft apartment has to be kept top secret for fear of animal traffickers breaking in. It's home to around 1,300 turtles. Some of them are among the world's most endangered species, but the humid, smelly and cramped space is far from ideal. Every inch of space houses tanks containing the weird and wonderful creatures from all over the world. There are big, small, old, young, ugly and pretty ones from Asia, Africa and South America. But they all have one thing in common. All have been rescued from potential extinction by Richard August and his team and are housed in his own private home zoo. Richard began collecting turtles 10 years ago after rescuing a diamondback terrapin from New York's fish market. Rather than taking it home for dinner, Richard decided to start rescuing and caring for turtles in trouble. Turtles are one of the oldest reptile groups in the world and are even more ancient than lizards and snakes. Richard feeds the turtles lettuce and they spend their days swimming in their tanks. Turtles can't breathe in water, but they can hold their breath for long periods of time. They're known for their long necks that can retreat into their shells. It was baby's day out for some koalas at the San Diego Zoo. Visitors to the world-famous wildlife park got their first glimpse of 4 new baby koalas. The 2 boys and 2 girls recently emerged from each of their mother's pouches. The koala cubs range in age from 8 to 12 weeks old, and the babies are adjusting to life outside the pouch. But for now, they're still clinging to their mothers and have yet to leave their sides. Koalas are called joeys or cubs when they are young and are born blind, naked and without ears. They grow and develop in their mother's pouches for about 7 months. After that, it's time to join mum and tuck into lots of eucalyptus leaves. Over in Moscow, zookeepers are hoping that the start of cold winter weather will drive home an Indian peacock that has run away from the city's zoo. The runaway peacock was recently spotted by local bird watchers who saw it in the city centre. The Indian peacock is one of the most recognisable birds in the world because of its brightly coloured feathers, distinctive crest and its fancy train. Back in the zoo, the peacock's mates are all keeping warm inside their winter quarters. And they happily peck throughout the day on seeds, insects, fruit and small reptiles. The zookeepers hope that the freezing temperatures will bring home the wayward bird. We hope that the peacock will return on its own once the winter freeze sets in. He knows the road to home and can make it back here. Local media have published reports on the bird's movements, and he's been seen in tall trees, on the top of a 12-story building, and in a nearby cemetery. He was definitely here 4 days ago when I was working my shift. We saw him up in the trees and then in the storage yard. After that, he seems to have flown away. Peacocks are surprisingly tough, despite their pretty and delicate looks. These hardy birds can live in temperatures well below freezing. Let's take a look at some pictures taken during an examination of a baby panda at the National Zoo in Washington, D.C. This panda is 5 weeks old and appears to be in good health. There are only 20 giant pandas left in zoos outside of China, and their favourite food is, you guessed it, bamboo. Budapest Zoo is just about to release one of the rarest owl species in the region, after they operated on its injured wing. The eagle owl, named Bubaka, after a popular Hungarian cartoon character, was found by a passer-by near the northern town of Vac. Vets believe Bubaka probably broke his wing after flying against some wire. They operated and he recovered well and is now able to fly again. The call of the eagle owl is a deep, resonant ooh-hoo, with emphasis on the first syllable for the male and a more high-pitched ooh-hoo for the female. Each member of an eagle owl population can be identified by the sounds it makes. The size, ear tufts and orange eyes make this a distinctive species, and it flies very fast and in a straight line. The eagle owl is largely nocturnal, which means it sleeps during the day and stays awake at night. It is generally found in mountains and forests with cliffs and rocky areas, and likes to nest on cliff ledges. Now it's time for the owl to be released. It belongs to the rarest owl species here, so it's very important to cure and release every single one, because this bird will now return to nature and mate with another bird, another eagle owl at spring. These owls live for around 20 years, although they can live much longer in captivity. It's time to look at more birds of all different shapes and sizes. Rome Zoo has lots of flying creatures that visitors flock to see, such as this brightly coloured peacock, who is happy strutting his stuff and showing off his blue feathers. Then there are these flamingos, enjoying some relaxation in the water. Birds are warm-blooded creatures and lay eggs. There are around 10,000 different species. There are birds so small they fit in the palm of your hand, birds with long necks like geese and swans, and long-legged birds like flamingos. All birds have wings, and most of them can fly, except for some birds like penguins and ostriches. They all have beaks instead of teeth, and a lightweight but strong skeleton. Birds fly in groups high up in the sky and migrate to various places around the world, depending on the season and their food source. Before migrating, birds will increase body fats and reserves and reduce the size of some of their organs, because migrating is exhausting and needs a lot of energy. Some birds make great pets, like these yellow canaries and these parrots. Wild canaries are mostly yellow-green with brownish streaking on the back. Parrots can be green or another bright colour, and some species are multicoloured. This is a grey parrot from Gabon, and this baby parrot is being kept in a heated cage as it's only a newborn. Parrots make fun pets, as they can mimic what you say. What's that? I said they can mimic what you say. Bird calls and songs are the main ways that birds communicate with each other, and they're well known for their love of worms. We've just seen the eagle owl. Now let's take a look at another owl. It's called the snowy owl. Can you guess why? That's right, because the white colour of its feathers looks like snow. Snowy owls are found in the Arctic, and their calls are varied, but the alarm call is a barking, almost quacking sound. Over in another cage, these delicate goldfinches from Azerbaijan are commonly kept because of their colourful bodies and beautiful singing voices. Now it's time to celebrate the birth of a baby baboon in an Israeli zoo. The baboon is related to the Hamadryas family, which is from the Old World monkey family. Old World monkeys are medium to large in size. All baboons have long dog-like muzzles, close-set eyes, heavy, powerful jaws, thick fur except on their muzzle, a short tail, and rough spots on their behind. The hairless pads of skin there provide comfort for the baboon when it sits down. Female pregnancies last around 6 months. Newborn baboons usually weigh as much as a bag of sugar and are coloured black. Females tend to be the primary caretaker of the young monkeys. Depending on whether the Hamadryas baboon is male or female, the colour of fur will differ. If the baboon is male, he will have a silver-white coloured mane, while females are maneless and tend to be brown in colour. These baboons enjoy eating anything from grass to leaves and insects. The Hamadryas baboons are the largest members of the monkey family and live mostly in the semi-desert areas of the Middle East and Africa.
We have a week-old newborn of the Hamadryas baboon in our new exhibit. It has been since 1998 that we didn't have any newborns because the former leader, Adam, was too old, he couldn't mate.
While females do most of the parenting, the males are the leaders of the group. As well as semi-desert areas, they live in savannas and rocky areas, and they sleep on cliffs in groups, and also like to be near drinking water. The average lifespan of Hamadryas baboons in the wild is about 35 years, and unlike other baboons, they're mostly active during the day. Just as zoos open their doors for visitors to see lots of different types of animals, aquariums and aqua shows do the same for fish. Rare varieties of ornamental fish attracted hordes of visitors recently to an international aqua show in India's southern Cochin, known as the Queen of the Arabian Sea. Colourful fish of many varieties were exhibited, and visitors were mesmerised by the goldfish, angelfish, loaches, swordtails and guppies. The Ornamental Fish Show displayed some of the more rare and precious types of marine and freshwater fish, along with aquaplants, aquariums, fish foods, medicines, heaters and illuminators. All fish live in the water and are cold-blooded animals. Tuna, swordfish and sharks, however, have been known to show some warm-blooded adaptations. There are thousands of types of fish that live in the ocean and streams, and they are an important source of food for humans as well as other sea creatures. A typical fish has a streamlined body that allows it to swim rapidly. It extracts oxygen from the water using gills, or an accessory breathing organ to enable it to breathe atmospheric oxygen. A person who breeds and rears fish is called a pisciculturalist.
Of conducting this kind of show is to generate enthusiasm among people and to develop ornamental fish industry as a major occupation in the agriculture sector, to provide employment, better returns to farmers, etc.
Fish lay eggs that are fertilized internally or externally. Many types of aquatic animals commonly referred to as fish are not actually fish in the same way as described, such as shellfish, cuttlefish, starfish, crayfish and jellyfish. Behind this curtain is a very special newborn. It is Tokyo's first baby anteater, and it was born at the Ikebukuro Aquarium. The Japanese press took lots of pictures of the baby anteater, who snuggled up to its 2-year-old mother Tay and 2-year-old father Ali. We've seen different types of anteaters on zoo babies before, scaly ones and furry ones. But this anteater is called a southern tamandua, and very few are born in captivity. At the moment, there are only 10 southern tamanduas in captivity throughout Japan, but this is the first one that has been successfully bred here. We didn't know what they really used to eat in the wild in Paraguay. We had to try out different foods, and now we feed them what they seem to like. And that's grapefruits and avocados. I'd thought anteaters would be scary, but actually I found it was rather cute. Baby anteater is so cute. After the brief ceremony for the media, spectators flocked to the cage where the baby anteater and its mother were being kept. If you could take a wild baby animal or a baby animal from the zoo and look after it, which animal would you choose? Well, cattle farmer Gunter Nolter and his partner Monica Patelka found a stray baby fox that they've decided to look after until it grows up. On their cattle farm, they own a group of border collie dogs, which the fox has become very friendly with. The border collie is a breed of herding dog from England and Scotland, and is regarded as the most intelligent dog breed. They are very energetic, and so are a great help with handling livestock, such as cows and sheep. They can be shy with strangers, but very affectionate with their owners and those that they know, which is probably why they've become such good friends with this baby fox called Chappie. So far, the little fox seems to be enjoying spending his days playing with the dogs. Unusual behavior for a wild fox, and it's even more unusual for herding dogs to attend to a potential predator with such care. Merle, one of the dogs, has been especially taken with little Chappie. Perhaps it's because they have something in common. Merle has built his very own den, a place little Chappie appreciates very much, as it resembles a fox's burrow. According to Gunter, Chappie is the only other dog allowed in the den. The other dogs are kept away by Merle. Should Chappie decide to stay on Gunter's cattle farm, he may very well become the first fox to herd cattle and be both man's and a dog's best friend.
Ist uns vor 4 Wochen bei uns entgegengekommen.
4 weeks ago, we found him straying towards us with an empty cat food can on his head. We freed him, fed him, and now he feels so well and gets on so brilliantly with our dogs that he's stayed with us. We'll try to take care of him, and once he's 6 months old, he can decide if he wants to stay with us and his new buddies, the border collies, or if he prefers freedom. Gunter is used to dealing with high-energy animals. His border collies are already quite a handful, so taking on this baby fox hasn't been too hard. Besides, his dogs seem to be taking complete care of Chappie. Most foxes live only 2 to 3 years, but they can survive for up to 10 years or even longer in captivity.
Nö, also wir hoffen, wenn sich jetzt hier im Rudel...
We hope that once he's well integrated in the pack, he will go the same way as Otto here. We got him as a puppy, and he learned to herd the cows just by watching the other dogs. We always say Otto goes to work whenever he sees cows. If the little fox grows to like it, maybe one day he will herd the cattle with Otto and Clemens. He seems to get on very well with the pack. His best friend is Merle. He's the one that built the den. And little Chappie is the only one who's allowed in the den. The other dogs must stay out. Foxes are normally extremely wary of humans and are not kept as pets. But this fox seems right at home and is enjoying digging and playing with Gunter and his dogs. Join us next time on Zoo Babies for lots more chicks, calves and cubs.